So today we're going to be talking about how to make an amortization table for an amortization fund with constant contributions, also known as a sinking fund. A company borrows $500,000 to be paid off within the next 5 years. The company wants to pay off this debt at maturity, so they establish a sinking fund and make equal contributions. If the money is invested in a financial institution offering 6% per annum compounded annually, find the necessary amount to be deposited each year and develop an amortization schedule. Okay, so let's get a few things straight here regarding this question. So basically, there's $500,000. They want to be able to pay it off at maturity. So basically, in 5 years from now, they want to be able to pay off the $500,000 in full. But rather than just making one payment in 5 years, they want to make annual contributions. That are the same, right? Consistent annual contributions each year. And so overall, they're going to end up paying less than $500,000 to get this $500,000 fully paid off because the money that they set aside in the sinking fund the first year is going to have the next few years to appreciate, right? Because of the 6% per annum, compounded annually, this condition on that the financial institution is offering. So they're going to get more from that. And so that is why they're going to end up paying a bit less than that full $500,000. So, first, I want to just discuss all right, what are the key elements here that we need to know? So, first of all, what is the future value? How much do we need to have in 5 years to get this paid off? In 5 years, we need to have $500,000. So, future value 500,000. Then N, they said that the company would like to get this paid off within the next 5 years. So, therefore, N is equal to 5 for 5 years. And then we have I, which is our interest rate that we're going to receive on the money, and that's going to be 6% per annum. So that's going to be 0.06 if we put that in decimal form. And now we first want to figure out the amount of annual contribution that we're going to need. And so we're going to be using the future value formula of an overdue annuity. So in that case, future value is equal to A, which is going to be our payment amount, our annual contribution, times 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1 all over I. So that means that 500,000 is equal to A times 1.06 to the power of 5 minus 1 all over 0.06. So then let's plug that in the calculator. 1.06 to the power of 5 equals minus 1 equals, divide by 0.06 equals, and that's our coefficient for A, so that is going to be about 5.6371 approximately, times A is equal to 500,000. So to find out A, we just need to divide those two. So 500,000 divided by 5.6371 equals. Okay, so that gives me $88,698.09. And that might seem like, oh, that's a lot of money. And you're right, it is. But keep in mind that we want to, in 5 years from now, have $500,000. And so that's also a lot of money. So in that sense, it's not a big surprise. Now, some people may ask, oh, well, how come it's not $100,000? Because if we do $100,000 and we set that aside every year, wouldn't we get $500,000 after doing that 5 times? And while, in a sense, in terms of the principal we put in, if we do that, yes, you're right. But that doesn't account for the fact that any money we put in is going to get 6% per annum. So that's why we don't actually have to put in quite that much, even to get this fully paid off, because the money we put in the first year is going to appreciate. So the money in the second year won't have as much time to appreciate, but it'll still appreciate. But all of these contributions, except for the last one, presumably, will still have that time to appreciate, essentially. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to now make our amortization table. So first I'm going to write down the number of years, then the amount that we are going to deposit, then the interest that we make from the deposit, and then the balance of the fund. And the fund balance after the 5 years should be $500,000 if we've done this correctly. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw some lines here, make this a decent table here, like that. All right, so next what I'm going to do for years, I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there's 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And then for the first deposit is $88,698.09. And keep in mind the interest rate per year is 6%. Now, of course, in the first year, right after we put this in, we're still not going to get any interest just yet. So I'm going to put 0 and I'm going to say, okay, well, that means the fund balance is just the money we put in so far. Okay. However, the second year, what's going to happen is something a little bit different. In the second year, we're going to be depositing another $88,698.09. Plus, we're going to get interest. We're going to get some interest from the previous fund balance, right? So from this fund balance, we're going to make 6% over the year. So $88,698.09 times 0.06 will tell us how much interest we'll get, and that's going to come out to be $5,321.89. So now our fund balance, it has all of those things in it, right? It has the first $88,698 that it had last year, plus it has this interest, plus it has the new $88,698.09 that we just deposited. So it has the money we deposited last year, this year, and the interest that we gained from last year's money. So I'm going to add those three things together. So $88,698.09 times 2, and then plus the interest. So overall, that is going to be $182,718.07. Okay, and now how much interest did we make in the third year from that balance? Well, we're going to multiply that number, that new fund balance, by 6% and get that the interest gained this time is $10,963.08. Also, we made a new deposit of $88,698.09 in the third year. So therefore, in order to know the new fund balance, we have to add the previous fund balance plus the interest we earned on that previous fund balance plus the amount that we now deposited that's new to us. So let's do that. So that's $10,963.08 plus our original fund balance, which is $182,718.07, plus our new deposit, which is $88,698.09. And in total, that is $282,379.24. I'm just going to delete that and that and that. There we go. Okay. Now, how much interest do we make on that? Well, let's multiply that by 0.06 to get the interest. So the interest we gain the next year from the previous fund balance is $16,942.75. Plus, we're making a new contribution of $88,698.09. So we're going to add that in, $88,698.09, plus the previous fund balance of $282,379.24. And that's going to give me $388,020.08. And then one last time, what's the interest on that? Well, 6% for the next year. So the next year we gain $23,281.21 in interest. And then we're also going to add another payment, our very last payment, to the sinking fund to get that $500,000 all paid off. So then we're going to add the previous balance, so $388,020.08, and we're going to add the new deposit we just made, so $88,698.09. And overall, we get $499,999 and 38 cents, which, you know what, that is close enough to $500,000, right? We're just going to round that up at this point to $500,000. Now, sometimes you might technically get a number that's slightly off, like I'm talking a few cents off just because of the rounding error with the pennies, and that's completely fine. That's not really a big deal. If you're getting more than a few cents off, that could be a problem, but especially on something this high at this high a scale where we're talking about paying off $500,000 and we're less than $1 short, that is most likely just due to rounding with the pennies and an error like that occurred, and that's fine. So, overall, how much do we pay in deposits and how much in interest? So, overall, from deposits, that would be $88,698.09 times 5, because we made that payment 5 times. So, overall, over the course of these 5 years, we paid $443.490.45 into this sinking fund. And then for interest, we add these up. So $5,321.89 plus $10,963.08 plus 16,942.75 plus $23,281.21. So that is overall $56,508.93 in interest, which, that's a lot of interest. That's pretty good. So yeah, there we go. All right, so that is it for this one. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to leave those in the comment section, and we'll see you for the next one.